there's a point where you sort of shrug and you say, well, I don't think Kemi Badenoch's going to provide anything new at all. It's always going to be the same nonsense. But today, there's this story, or yesterday really, there's a story where arrogance meets ignorance in the person of Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the opposition. Her latest foray into foreign affairs and cultural commentary has once again demonstrated the peril of combining brittle arrogance with studied stupidity. And her response to Israel's deportation of two British Labour MPs, Yuan Yang and Abtissam Mohammed, has not only embarrassed her office but exposes her as somebody who has a worrying disregard for the dignity of Parliament and the rights of its members. Begin with the fundamentals here. Yang and Mohammed were part of a parliamentary delegation intending to visit humanitarian projects in the occupied West Bank, and the trip was not a fringe stunt. It was organised by reputable British charities with Foreign Office awareness, and the Israeli government's decision to deny them entry was unprecedented, hostile, and deeply undiplomatic. We are not at war with Israel. And yet Badenoch, instead of defending British democratic norms and seeking a diplomatic explanation, chose instead to side with the detaining power, with Israel. She declared it shocking that Labour has MPs whom other countries would rather bar at the border, implying guilt by political association. Her argument that Israel, being a democracy, should be trusted to do as it pleases with elected representatives from a fellow democratic ally. This is absurd. Democracies do not get a blank cheque to treat allies with contempt. If anything, the obligations between allies are greater, not lesser. And the issue here isn't whether Israel has the legal right to bar entry. Most countries technically do. The issue is whether it is right for an ally to do so, and whether a British leader, even in opposition, should cheerlead such treatment of her fellow MPs. Badenoch's language was glib, defensive, and laced with insinuations suggesting the MPs were pro-Hamas or unserious figures meddling in foreign affairs. This is not diplomacy. This is posturing in a studio chair, safe with her mate Laura Quensberg smiling opposite, or Laura Koonsberg smiling opposite. This is not statesmanship. This is cronyism. And David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary, has rightly described Badenoch's comments as disgraceful, and more strikingly, several Conservative MPs have quietly agreed. Richard Fuller, MP, reminded his party that democracy requires allowing elected representatives access to the realities on the ground. If Israel believes its position is defensible, this was the moment to present it to two known critics face to face. Instead, it acted as if it feared scrutiny, and Badenoch endorsed that retreat into opacity. The deeper issue here is Badenoch's disdain for curiosity. She not only attacked those MPs for seeking first-hand information, but when asked about Adolescence, the Netflix drama that has sparked national debate on misogyny and radicalization, admitted she hadn't watched it and wasn't planning to, and she shrugged it off as fiction. So what if it is fiction? Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment is fiction. Mr. Bates versus the Post Office is a fictional account of some reality, but fiction has always been the vessel through which societies examine great issues, their collective failures, their concerns. And the irony in this, Badenoch claims to care about online radicalization, but refuses to watch the single most widely discussed cultural event at the moment that directly addresses the problem. Instead, she tries to deflect onto Islamic terrorism, as if concern for misogynistic extremism aimed at boys and young men was somehow trivial by comparison. This isn't policy making, this is distraction, this is laziness. Her refusal to engage with the content of Adolescence, her flippancy over the deportation of British MPs, her glib tweets accusing fellow MPs of promoting Hamas propaganda reflect not strength but a dangerously brittle insecurity masked as certainty. This isn't leadership, this is performance, and it's not a good performance. Kemi Badenoch is, by position, the leader of the opposition. But opposition is not a studio sound bite. It is an institution of scrutiny, of holding power accountable, of defending Parliament's integrity abroad. To dismiss that duty is not merely unwise, it is unfit, and she is unfit for office. That is demonstrable. Israel made a grave diplomatic error in barring elected British officials, and Badenoch compounds that error by applauding it. She would do well to reflect that her job is not to play border guard for foreign nations. It's not to posture against fellow MPs doing their job with seriousness and care. She may be ineffective on a Wednesday morning at PMQs, but that is no excuse to posture in a BBC studio on Sunday, pouting with sound bites instead of principles because she thinks she is safe sitting next to a chum. This is not about being pro or anti-Israeli. It is about being pro-Parliament. And if Badenoch cannot grasp that, if Badenoch is not pro-Parliament, she doesn't have the right to hold the office of Leader of the Opposition, and she should step down immediately. And least of all, should she be there if she aspires to govern. What complete contempt she has for the job that she has been given. That is a job. That is a job that requires grace and that requires humility and that represents the House. And if she can't do that job, she should clear out immediately.